Good evening, Sin City, and welcome to another episode of Social Media Show. I'm your host, Sam Dever, and I'm super excited because I have two very special guests in the building, David and Neil Schnitzer. Gentlemen, welcome.
Thank you. We're very excited to be here.
And we'll mention right off the bat, there is another Schnitzer brother.
Yes.
He's right here, actually. Brian.
We can put him in there later.
And we'll put him right in there.
Superimpose him.
All right.
Right.
Yeah, Brian, he works over at Caesar's Palace, and he had to be there tonight. So 66% of the troop. And
That's right.
we'll do okay.
I mean, Caesar can't play himself, right?
That's true. Brian dresses as Caesar, and, it's hard work, but it's an honest wage.
Yes.
That's awesome. We'll definitely fiddle him into this interview some way, somehow.
Hi guys, this is Jade with the Social Media Show, and I am welcomed here with Brian Schnitzer.
Yay. Hello.
Hi, welcome to the show, Brian.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming. I really wish that you were there with your brothers, but you know what? I think solo dolo. I think you can do it right.
You got to do what you got to do, and we got to see if our stories add up. So
Right.
Tell us a little bit about your guys' self and how you ended up out here in Vegas.
I'll start.
It's the oldest.
Okay. So started 2006. My best friend since the age of 5, Ariel Farah, wanted to start a pizza restaurant in Vegas and asked me to join and be a part of it. So that's what originally brought me out. We did the pizza thing for a little while and it kind of transitioned into, nightlife promotions and marketing through another mutual friend from back home in Chicago. So that's kind of how it all went together. And after the first year, David was graduating. So I asked what his plans were. And I said, why don't you take your plans out here?
I had a month left of college, and Neil called me, and he said, hey, what are you doing when you graduate? And thought to myself, and I said, probably living at home with mom, take a train to the city, find a job out there, and try to save up money. He's like, want to live with me in Vegas? I'm like, yes. And he goes, really? Just like that? I'm like, yes, just like that. I'll live with you in Las Vegas for a little bit. So it's been 6 years for me.
Wow.
5 for Brian and 7 for Neil.
Yeah, this month marks the 7-year anniversary. So
you started the trend. You started the trend out here.
He's our leader.
Started.
He's the Mo of the Three Stooges. So,
Who's Brian? Is Brian curly?
Brian is definitely curly.
Curly? Yeah.
Brian's curly.
Definitely.
Hey, Mo.
Yeah, so after Dave and I were out here for a year together, we kind of teamed up and got Brian. We offered the master bedroom.
So for those who don't know you, how did you end up in Las Vegas?
with the promise of a master bedroom.
With the promise of a master bedroom. Now, so were you like swindled or were they coaxed? Like, how did that happen?
My brothers Neil and David sent me photos of, they got a house that was really, beautiful house, and basically sent me pictures of the master bedroom. And they said, you want to move out? And I was kind of at a point where I was ready to move.
Really?
And he took it.
Yeah.
Sucker.
So far so good. We're really happy to be here. It's a wonderful place. Las Vegas has tons to offer, so we love it.
Absolutely. And going into that, what do you guys do out here? What's your professions?
I manage the promotion team for Tau Group, and kind of help with promotions, networking, bringing in new talent, and training. Schedule, payroll, all that fun stuff.
How many people are on your team that you manage, Neil?
Right now we have 20, David.
Very nice.
Yes.
I'm sure you stay busy.
Very busy. 20 sophisticated, on-point promoters, huge databases. They work their butts off to, make sure that Tau Group throws, the best parties. So,
absolutely.
Yeah,
Tau, that's something that's, it's going strong for years.
Yeah.
Because usually some are come and go, but that seems to be one that has stayed.
Yeah, it's amazing. When it was the first club that I went to, and the first party that I promoted, it was in the lounge on a Wednesday called Sutra, and I was working with Tony Markham and Brett Rubin. They kind of brought me in and showed me the ropes at the time, and it was just Tau, and then came Tout Beach and Lavo, Marquee Day Club. So now there's 5, which it's amazing. It's cool to see, the growth.
Absolutely. And David, how about you?
Well, we got oldest, middle, last. Brian, he's a production coordinator at Caesar's Palace.
How would he be answering this question if I were to ask it to him?
Well, I basically am the relationship between the production companies and the resort. So he just has a little higher pitch, and sometimes when he gets nervous, he touches his head.
So I have an awesome job at Caesars, and I don't know how I forgot to mention that. But yeah, so I went from, I still do photography, but I went from starting doing photography to busing to Caesars.
And what do you do at Caesars?
So I work on film production at Caesars.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's just like right up your alley.
Yeah. I'm a production coordinator, so I'm basically the middleman between the hotel and a production company.
That's fantastic. It's great to be the middleman because you tell everything where to go.
It is.
You go there. You just need to point.
It's 50% schmoozing and just making sure everybody's happy, and then the other 50% is being organized and putting together schedules and working on insurance and big boy stuff.
Big boy stuff, mature stuff.
Yeah,
because you're grown.
I'm a big boy now.
So yeah, Brian absolutely loves his job, and as we talk about social media later on, I'll tell you how I got the job. But for me, I work over at the Wynn, so down the street from both of my brothers, and I do marketing and PR over there. Surrender Encore Beach Club, Andrea's. So that's been a wonderful experience for me. I love my team. Just really, really incredible people from top to bottom. So it's really, really fun.
Well, and that's been cool. I mean, because even starting with Blush Nightclub, rest in peace.
I
know you know about Blush. Both of you.
Blush.
High Limit Gaming Lounge now.
I know, and I walked by the other day, and I'm just like, God, like just like a tear ran down my cheek.
I walked in.
RP, Sam. Yeah, we had a lot of fun.
Man, I walked in just to try to capture some kind of magic. There's no magic.
It's
no
all
magic.
gone.
Yeah, we get kicked out because we're not high limit gamers. It's okay.
Like, hey, I used to work here, and they're like, there's a door.
So it's cool from your end how you've kind of been there from the beginning with Surrender and just watched how it's grown.
Yeah.
And just keeps building now with Andrea's and all the other things you guys are doing with Wynn Social. Like, it's really cool.
When I started about 4 years ago over at the Wynn, there was Blush Nightclub. There's about 30 employees. Now there's probably 400 to 500 employees. So.
Wow.
Between all the venues, and it's very a right place, right time sort of situation for me. And I was looking everywhere. I was applying for bar back situations. I was applying for accounting. I was applying for I was working as a pizza delivery boy before, so I did some promoting as well. But right place, right time. Someone gave me a chance, and here I am on this wonderful show with you wonderful people.
We're all here, yay!
Yeah, we made it, baby.
Exactly.
Vegas.
Well, and you two working, and Brian too, all on the Strip, social media is pretty big, I'm sure, for what you guys do especially. So can we kind of dive into how you use social media?
Sure. Maybe? Yeah, absolutely. From the start, social media was a good way to kind of capture everyone that I met and connected with, and that's really how it started for me, and especially with Facebook being starting like around 2005, 2006 being the thing. Anytime, I went out and took parties out, I'm like, oh, are you on Facebook? And we'd add and become friends. Right. And then they'd come back, connect through there and send referrals. So that's kind of how I got the word out. And then just, through putting up, the evites and reaching out to people one by one, that's kind of the steady growth of, what you do as a promoter, again, as a host and with management too. It's just spreading the good word and keeping people connected.
Absolutely. How does Brian use social media?
Brian, I can tell you. So the way that Brian actually got his job at Caesar's Palace was I had a mutual friend, and she had put on her Facebook status, "We're looking for people to fill this position," and I responded tagging Brian Schnitzer, saying Brian Schnitzer would be great at this. He looked at it, reached out to her, interviewed, everything went well, and he got the job. So basically,
all from a post,
from a Facebook post, wow. Status updates.
What's your favorite part of social media?
I mean,
other than getting a job.
Yeah, no, social media is awesome because it's connecting everyone, and it's kind of our way of connecting with our favorite celebrities. It's our way of getting information instantly. If there's a natural disaster, it's the first thing you're going to see. There's pictures on Twitter. So social media is kind of, I don't know, it's really connected the world, and I think it's amazing how pop culture is also influencing social media and vice versa.
Definitely.
But there's you have something clever and you have something creative and people are into it. It's you can really you can do something with it. And then also you want to get in touch with Jeff Garland, who's one of the guys that I was reading his book and I thought it was awesome, and I kicked my feet up and took a picture of it and I tweeted to him and he responded, and it's like,
wow. I haven't been retweeted by any of my stars yet. I will be one day. I think
that's cool.
I'm gonna stay out of it.
With my job at Caesars, a lot of the stuff that I'm working on, I'll take pictures of, and it's sort of time sensitive. So I'll take a picture and then I'll send it to our social media team, who, when it's time to market that specific production, then they'll put it out.
Wow.
So it's cool. I mean, Caesars has 8 hotels in Las Vegas, soon to be 9. So it's
soon to be 9. How about that? That's fantastic.
I'll answer for Brian too. Well, it kind of started with the photography, and I was really active on with the social media, and it was cool because 2010, 2011, we all got to work together with Surrender and Encore Beach Club, and I was doing busing and also the photography.
It's good, Brian. Very good.
Good, Brian.
That's a good Brian. Thanks.
So you want to hear my
I want to hear your best impression.
You want to hear
my
best David?
That's what I'm getting to. Get David.
This is David hanging out, hitting on some girl at the nightclubs. You ready?
Yes.
Hey, what's up? I'm David. I got really cool hair and awesome suits. What's going on? You want to go to Cabana? I don't know. Is that too mean?
I don't know.
No, he's not like that at all.
Ladies, he's really nice.
He does have awesome hair and he does have awesome suits. So
he does actually. I've actually seen him dress up,
and he does hang out in Cabanas, but it's nothing.
He does. It has nothing to do with the girls.
No, it's just
they just happen to be there.
He's a good dude.
Okay.
All right.
I want the next one.
All right. I'm Neil. I'm gonna buy the same glasses as you, Brian. Yeah, I'm gonna hang out outside of town. You can't come in the club. And Neil's not like that at all. Neil actually deals with promoters, and he's a great guy too. I'm sorry,
I love how you give a disclaimer. I am making fun of my brothers, but I actually do love them.
They're
you guys.
sweet. They're sweet dudes,
persons.
and these are their jobs. David's very accommodating, and so is Neil. And I would too if I was still at the club, but no more.
No more. You moved on.
For now.
Kind of started off, we all worked together, and David was the trailblazer, with Encore and Win, and recruited us after I recruited them. So it kind of goes full circle, where we do, if their opportunities are there, we kind of, help each other out, and because we like that support, and that's how our brotherhood, has strengthened, throughout the years. But yeah, I mean the Win Encore opportunity when we all worked together for a couple of years was pretty awesome. Great opportunity over there, and watching the clubs grow, and amazing learning experience.
Absolutely. And Brian is a very good photographer too.
Thanks.
For those who don't know. Yeah. Brian.
Good job, Brian.
So you and your brothers are described as the Three Stooges. Almost.
Yes.
So describe your relationship with them. What you guys are brothers. Family is family.
Right.
But you guys are also business partners as well.
Yes.
And you guys work together on and collab together on a lot of things.
Absolutely.
So describe that relationship. How is it from transitioning from, hey, I'm going to give you a knuckle sandwich, to we need to get this budget up and running so that way we can produce?
I mean, it's one of those things where the knuckle sandwich, there's a time and a place for it. I think that's part of growing up and being mature, is still having that childish way about you, but kind of finding the right time to interact. I mean, yesterday, for example, my brother David and I were playing basketball, and I was guarding him, and I punched him a couple times just because.
Give me the ball.
But yeah, when there's a time and a place to be mature and to be an adult. I mean, that's what we're trying to be mature adults. So it's my relationship with my brother is great. We're a huge support network for each other.
That's good.
Yeah, we're very positive influences on each other's lives. So we work out, we play basketball. Even though David's 10 minutes away, we still FaceTime every once in a while. So
you guys still stay in contact, regardless of business and just family ties. Like, you guys genuinely want to spend time with each other.
for sure.
That's awesome. That's very hard to find with siblings because as you grow up, you do grow apart. Everyone gets their own ideas and they start doing. I know me and my brother, we still talk on hopefully a daily basis sometimes, depending on the week that we have.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's important to be grounded in that. And the fact that you guys can work together is fantastic. I could never work with my brother. Ever.
I
love you, Ray, but I could never work with you.
At one point, Neil and David and I all worked at the Wynn. So this was I can go back if you wouldn't mind.
Keep it.
Yeah.
Take it back like
okay,
an 8-track.
I'm gonna rip, I'm gonna bring it back.
Rip. What?
So the three of us worked at the Wynn, and that was awesome. I was bussing, and Neil was a host, and David was an assistant to one of the executives.
Okay.
So basically, we said, Neil would bring him in. He was the host. David would keep him happy, and I would clean up all their stuff. So
how about that?
That's basically how it was.
So social media in my job, and I do the Twitter and Instagram, and that is a lot of fun for me. I really, really enjoy that. I do a certain amount of posts every week in regards to what talent we have, who the DJs are. I'll post flyers. I'll invite friends. Without trying to annoy them, there's always that balance. I think now that everybody has social media, you take a secure approach to it, I think is the best, because you don't want to annoy people because all they do is unfollow and then they see nothing. So I try to schmooze it in there or do it in a way that's very creative, which we as brothers have been blessed to be creative people. We may not be the most intelligent, but we are very creative.
We'll charm our way out of it.
We'll charm our way out of what we did wrong. I take some photos. I'll go up to a random group of girls and say, hey, I do the Twitter, and I'll show them so it's not creepy. There has been a couple of misunderstandings where I would ask a new cocktail waitress if I could take a picture of her in her bathing suit, and she would get very creeped out. And I explained I had worked there for 4 years, and I showed her that I did for Twitter. She's like, yeah, okay. And then she like,
it's all in the delivery.
Yeah, I realized that. I just straight went up to her and asked her, I'm like,
picture
hey,
with your swimsuit?
Can I take a picture of you in your bikini? And she's like, no. So I worked it out. I did,
just gotta fine tune it.
Yeah, I guess maybe I was staring too hard, and I forgot what was going on there. But yeah, that social media plays a huge part. I mean, you can look at how many Twitter followers your venue or your restaurant or your store has against competing stores or companies, and that's something that you can use to measure. You recruit people, you get word out on what you're doing. It's a really massive thing going on. So you are absolutely doing the right thing and having the show to discuss Las Vegas media, because this is absolutely, as our friend Jonathan Shecky Green would say, the epicenter of Twitter, social media, all those guys. The most amount of tweets going out in the United States is coming from Las Vegas, Nevada. Just because of the requirements, because of the action going on, because of the millions of people traveling here. So it's a lot of fun, and it's definitely prevalent in everything that we do every day. I mean, you look at any one of our inbox on Facebook, and it's, hey, I'm coming this day. Hey, I'm coming for a bachelor party. Mm-hmm. Hey, it's my friend's birthday. Hey, remember me from 4 years ago? No, I don't. I don't remember you.
But I'll pretend that we do. Yeah, that was a great night.
Yeah, right.
That was a great time.
How many texts do you guys get a day? Like, especially like during the big ones, Memorial Day weekend.
David actually,
I've gotten better.
He sent out like a report, because we have like a brothers share program.
I was really bored one time.
Who has the most amount of texts, the most amount of emails, and it was like
10,000 in one month.
Yeah,
wow.
Because I mean, with the team, I'm copying on, I'm CC'd on every email, and I also have my own parties that are coming in town, and brothers and girlfriend and all that stuff. It's back and forth, but oh no,
what?
Just went blank.
You went blank?
I went blank. I had a point. I was going somewhere.
That's okay. You can change the subject real fast.
Social media.
Right.
That's good you recognized it quick.
I could have kept going. I could have gone more circles.
I was thinking, what the hell are you talking about? But
I respect that. I respect that, though, because how many times, like, I've been there, like, oh, man, I totally forgot what I was going to do, but I got to keep
character.
Yeah, Neil went off on a tangent, and I was like, that doesn't have to do with the question.
No.
It's okay.
That's great.
We can
Social media.
social
Social
media.
media.
Yeah.
Well, I'll chime into what you guys are saying. And David, I got the chance to check out you doing all the Splash Dance,
Yeah, that was a lot
Instagramming
of
and all
fun.
that, and getting creative. By the way, the Surrender CD is like my favorite CD right
Thank
now.
you.
Thanks again for that.
Yeah, I'm happy you like it.
But it's like, and we had Ryan Shuchuk of Vegas.com on here, and like
Cool.
part of his job is
Nice fellow.
getting people. Yeah, awesome guy. Getting people to want to. If they're not in Vegas, they're gonna want to be.
Right.
And that's his job. So I mean, when you guys are taking pictures of girls in bikinis dancing, or big DJs, or sharing a poster of the next big party that weekend, like that just makes people want to come here. And I
Yeah.
can see when they come here, they're gonna think of you guys because they saw your guys.
It is
Clubs,
cool
sure.
to see people's responses when I take a photo on my own and I post it, I edit it, in Instagram you focus, you change the color, blah blah blah, you post it, and then 300 likes, 400 likes, and people are saying, "Oh my God, it's amazing," blah blah blah, and then there's always that one douche, and he says like, "Oh, that girl's fat," and then everyone else is like, "No, you're an idiot," and "She's hot," and "Oh, that's my friend."
That creates engagement, though. That
There's
has
tons
people-
of
yeah.
engagement.
Yeah.
It's exciting to see for us, yeah. And
Awesome.
as someone that's kind of doing that for the night is very cool.
Awesome. All right, guys. Well, we have a little bit more time here. I wanted to touch on two things with each of you. First of all, you've been to more Fish concerts, just maybe more concerts
no.
of one group than I've ever heard of before.
Yes.
How many Fish concerts have you been to?
93.
93.
That's why
93 Fish
he
shows.
forgot that last question and he went off on a tangent. That's why I went blank. Too many Fish shows.
Why do you like Fish so much? I
Damn
guess
parking lot scene. Zapped it all out. Why? Well, it started when I was 15, and I'd say going through puberty and fighting back. My big influences at the time were NWA and Two Live Crew and whatever would piss off my dad, that kind of stuff. I think it wasn't until I went to a Fish show where it was like this crazy new world. It was like Alice in Wonderland. I'm just like, oh my God, what is this? And the fact that they're such talented musicians and they switch up their style and they play, rock, bluegrass, jazz, funk. They've introduced me to so many different bands just by their influences. Bands like Talking Heads and some reggae stuff, just really cool stuff. It kind of like blew me away. And they have a catalog of like 300 songs that they could choose, and they switch it up every night. So it's never the same show, and it's always like that same experience I had when I was 15, which is kind of hard to find. It's so exciting, and you get locked in. It's kind of like a higher sense.
Were you 16 when you stole our parents' minivan and drove to a Fish concert?
I was 17.
17, okay.
And it was already approved that I could take the minivan, the Town and Country,
Yeah, right.
the white Town and Country, to go to a couple Fish shows with the friends. And then when the time came and they figured out exactly which friends I was going with, like, "Oh, you're not going with them. You're not going with them." So I'm like, "Yeah, I am." And then I went.
He stole the
and
car.
Stole the car, drove to Wisconsin, Indiana, Pennsylvania, New York, and then two shows up in Maine.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it
At
was
17.
At 17, and it was amazing just seeing the country, at that young of age, and experiencing that freedom, camping out, every night with your friends. It was, I treasure those moments.
Awesome, man.
I hear that you're a lacrosse player
I'm a lacrosse player and a coach.
and a coach.
Yeah, so
Who do you coach?
Spring Valley High School.
Woo! I didn't go there.
You didn't?
No,
Me neither.
I went to Bobby.
That's cool. Did you play any sports?
I did. I played softball varsity freshman year.
Nice.
Yeah, it was fun. Then after that, I kind of just got a social life, and then
That's
started
cool.
going to the football games and cheering from the stands.
Yeah, David, Neil and David and I started coaching at Spring Valley, and David and I have kind of taken it. Neil's got so much going on with work that, he doesn't really have time for it, but
Right.
totally cool. He still comes out when he can.
And supports.
Still comes out and supports. But yeah, I mean, it's a wonderful activity that we do, and it's kind of goes back to us being going to camp. I feel like we're not somehow. I feel you were definitely influencing a lot of people, and we're conditioning and staying in shape and, pushing these kids, and they're pushing back, and it's fun.
They're keeping up with you guys, making you guys keep up with them.
Yeah, we started doing once a week where we would dress, and then I started feeling my age and, hamstring, this, that, but there's so many excuses I could give. But we suit up, and we actually play indoor with a lot of our players.
Okay.
So it's just a good positive thing that we do out here, and it's another one of just another support system for us, another thing that we could kind of we can help build and help grow on. So it's cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
David, I know you also could touch a little bit on your involvement in the community, what you do out here with lacrosse.
Yeah, so Neil actually got me started. He put a lacrosse stick in my hand when I was in 8th grade and said, play catch, and I wanted to play basketball.
Play catch, David. Play catch with us now.
Play catch with me. And I was like, no, this is stupid. He made me play, basically. And that was in 8th grade, so I don't know, 15 years later, coaching here, and I played in high school, I played in college. Neil, Brian, and I, we play in a men's league. Shout out to Battleborn Box Lacrosse. It's a fun league we get to play in every Sunday. And Neil actually scored his first goal in 10 years a couple weeks ago. Mm-hmm. So that was exciting. But yeah, I coach Spring Valley High School, and there's a couple of feeder schools that don't have teams. So they come in Durango, Bonanza, West Tech, Southwest Tech, Sierra Vista. So there's a couple of extra guys that come in. And so, yeah, the brothers and I, we coach. This will be my 3rd season. And it's a lot of fun just to kind of be out there. A lot of the kids need positive role models. And in Las Vegas, as you would expect, not everybody has the best parents. And not to say where we came from, everybody had great situations at home, but we feel like it's an opportunity for us to give back because we're very fortunate growing up with the school system that we had, with the support that we had. So when we're able to kind of give 2 hours, 3 hours to these kids, I mean, one of our favorite things is literally giving garbage bags full of our old clothes, old magazines, like old watch, shoes, tons of stuff. When we moved out, we had 10 bags, and it's always a little awkward when we give it to them the first day or the first week. We'll say, hey, who wants our old stuff? And I think it's a little bizarre. And then by the 2nd or 3rd time, they're diving over, they're taking our stuff. They'll take an old suit that doesn't fit me anymore, and they'll rock it. I mean, one time my favorite thing is to practice. This kid was wearing a shirt that Brian gave him, board shorts that I gave him, and a Steve Aoki hat that we had that I got from work.
It's quite the combo.
Kid was all decked out. He was so happy. I mean, as a high school kid, you could wear whatever, but so it's a really fun experience to be able to give back and coach, positivity basically. And my main thing is respect, as I try to teach the kids respect and communication. So talk. I mean, as they say, kids these days, they're always texting on their phone. They don't talk to each other. So it's an opportunity for me to just keep preach, nail it into their head, to talk to each other, to respect one another and have fun. Everyone's goal in life is to be happy. So that's what we do.
Well, that's incredible, and I've had the opportunity to come out and check out what you do. And
Sam gave an inspirational speech to the guys, and they loved you for it. And you made an awesome video for us, and
nice.
we appreciate that.
No, it was my pleasure, and I just want to say, the Schnitzer brothers. If you guys don't know them, truly my definition of class act out here in Las Vegas. So glad I connected with you guys. So thank you so much for coming on, David, Neil, Byron, wherever you're at. Can you leave us? Where can people find you guys at?
Google David Schnitzer. You will find me. I am on Twitter, Daschnitz, DASCHNITZ, and Instagram.
Facebook, Neil Michael Schnitzer, and
Google me. Google him. You'll see a lot of nudes.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for being on the show. We look forward to growing with you guys here in the future.
Thank you so much, Sam.
All right.
So where can the people find you online? If they needed to shout you out, tweet you, Instagram you, where would they be able to find you?
Okay. So I think the best place to find me is on Facebook. Brian Schnitzer. Brian with the Y. Schnitzer, like Wiener Schnitzer. Well, I guess it's like Wiener Schnitzel, but with an ER.
With an R.
I'm not going to spell it for you if you can't find me. I'm on Twitter, Bry Schnitz, BRYSCHNITZ. I'm also on Instagram.
Sweet.
But as Brian Mark. So to confuse you a little bit.
See? Thank you, Brian, for joining us this Wednesday evening on the Social Media Show.
Thank you for having me.
I appreciate it, and I hope to see you soon again on the show.
Definitely.
So that we can keep up with your projects, especially with your film.
Thank you. I'd love to come back.
Awesome. This is Asia Jade with the Social Media Show.